Blue Monkey is a 1987 horror film from director William Fruet. The movie opens in Anytown, USA. It's really Canada. Over in a greenhouse, ew! Marwella is tending to her plants.
Who would like a little music?
Ah, nothing but the old classics. This older gentleman, Fred, is there to fix her pipes. He makes her a deal. He'll give her a discount if she has dinner with him. So he went from fixing pipes to laying pipe. On his way out, he notices a weird plant.
Ouch! Ooh.
The plant bit him. Marwella explains how she got this plant. Well, you remember that total eclipse of the sun about a week ago? Okay, really, someone sent her the plant from a volcanic island and she doesn't know what it is. She then tells him to go to the doctor, but he insists that he's okay.
Never felt better in my life. I have a date with the prettiest girl in town.
The prettiest girl in town, but I thought he had a date with me. On his way to the car, his finger starts throbbing and he passes out. Oh no! This is the third guy who's died on me this week. Fred gets rushed to the hospital. Dr. Rhonda Shear is checking him out. Detective Bishop arrives with his partner. He's been shot. The plants have guns now?
You a doctor?
Yes, you called for one, didn't you?
Well, hello, Dr. Sassy Pants. They get ready to take him to surgery when Fred starts convulsing. What the He spits a giant maggot out of his mouth. Aw, it thinks he's the mama. Hold on, excuse me a moment. The doctor takes the maggot and asks the nurse to do something with it. Dr. Carson is giving the detective a physical.
So, who gets to examine you?
Oh, you! The doctor asks him about the shootout.
You say you were in a shootout? Mill Valley seems an unlikely place for that.
Oh yeah, you must have been near Hamilton. Dr. Carson explains the hospital used to be an insane asylum. She takes him into a completely different movie where they have a giant super laser for some reason. She shows him the laser test where they blow up this pitcher of iced tea. Meanwhile, these precocious kids.
No, I'm a, detective, kind of like Kojak.
Who?
Kojak was considered old even back then.
My partner's been shot. What are you in for?
Leukemia.
Oof! The doctor scares the kids back to their room with some Canadian pronunciations.
If I catch you out in the halls again...
What was all that about? Dr. Carson explains the kids always get out of their rooms and go on wild adventures in the basement of the hospital. Since Fred vomited a giant maggot, they're keeping Marwella for observation. Her blind friend Dee Dee arrives as some of the comedic relief.
Isolation area. I must have missed the sign.
Oh, there's more. They x-ray the maggot and realize it's just a cocoon, that there's something inside. Just then, Dean Wormer arrives. This whole lab is on double secret probation. The doctor tells him they should contact disease control, but he scoffs at the idea. The doctor tries to cut open the Jimmy Dean sausage to see what's inside. I'll bet it's not candy. She cuts it open and oh, it's like Gusher's gum, only less disgusting. Then it sets off sparks, so they trap it in glass.
I've never seen an insect like that before.
I've never seen anything like it before either, mostly because you won't show it to us. Tony arrives to tell him that the paramedics who brought in Fred now have the same symptoms. Dr. Carson knows a bug expert, so she asks Tony to bring him to the hospital. Here's a blast from the past. Smoking in a hospital. And here comes the rest of the comedic relief.
Now, every step of your pregnancy has been properly charted out. Now is the time.
George and his wife Sandra. He's wacky science guy who will spout a bunch of stuff off throughout the movie.
George, this is a hospital.
Yeah. Good.
She picked the worst day to have a baby. The doctor tries to take a blood sample from Fred, but he's filled with strawberry yogurt. She tells Dr. Carson his bones are dissolving, and then he flatlines. They go to use the defibrillator, and he pops like a piñata. Ole! Meanwhile, Dee Dee sneaks in some booze so the old ladies can get lit. Alice is keeping an eye on the bug and gets a surprise from Ted, the horny orderly. He convinces her the best thing to do right now is to leave the bug alone so they can go and get zooted. Meanwhile, at the Lincoln Institute for Disease Control, not Chevy Chase, is investigating what killed Fred. He insists that they quarantine the hospital. These lovable scamps barge into the lab and find the mutant bug.
We've got to be careful if anyone finds us in here, especially that car.
Don't be such a wimp, Tyrone.
I was not expecting the ginger kid to be named Tyrone. Tyrone discovers the bug and calls the kids over. They decide the best thing to do is to give it this experimental growth chemical. Oh, wonderful. Tony pulls up to pick up the insect expert, Elliot. He's shocked to see that the bug expert's home is filled with bugs. He's driving a VW Bug, see? Womp womp. Back at the hospital, these two are baked. Common sense has left the building, and these two decide to have sex right then and there. They somehow didn't notice the giant insect in the room with them, so it eats them. Sandra goes into labor. Wacky guy! Elliot arrives at the hospital. They hear a nurse scream, so they all run to the bug room. Oh, yuck, this whole place is covered in gack. Elliot naturally wants a sample. He finds the chemicals, and the doctor realizes what happened. The power goes out, so they contact old Scruffy, played by a low-budget clone of Mickey Rooney. The ladies are here to party. These kids know the power outage is most likely their fault. Tony goes to the greenhouse where this all started. The health department already arrived, and they're burning the place to the ground. At the hospital, all the nurses quit so they don't die. No matter the role, John Vernon always looks annoyed. Outside the hospital, the military is placing the building under quarantine. They tell Roger everyone's to stay in the hospital, or they'll shoot. Have a nice day! The handyman's checking out the basement. Ah, damn kid's been whacking in the boiler room again. He finds some giant cocoons, and the bug eats him. Outside, an orderly tries to escape and fails. These guys are not messing around with social distancing. There's pure chaos going on. And so the kids decide to go exploring. The team heads into the boiler room. They find what's left of the custodian. Then they find the bug. Oh, great. The bug's teabagging its victims. Elliot tells them the good news.
The only species which even vaguely resembles this insect. It's capable of reproducing 500 to 600 eggs.
All the more reason to kill it now. Of course, the giant bug outsmarts him, and they all go running in different directions. They discover the bugs are making a home in the old tunnels, right where the kids are going. They tell Roger what they found, and he informs them the army is gonna burn the hospital down in a few hours. They need an expert guide, so they go and get Joey to show them the tunnels under the building. The doctor's trying to figure out why Marwella is fine and everyone else is sick. She discovers the cure is booze. So she has to send out the word to the patients.
Let's get pissed!
Ooh, it's the NBC mystery movie. They find the bug's lair, and what horribly disgusting thing is going on here? The bugs lay in just about 1 million eggs. The bug hears them and chases them down the hall. With the bug gone, Bishop torches the babies. It hears them and takes off running. Bishop's trying to get away and, oh great kid, now I gotta carry you and run. Joey goes to tell everyone that death is coming. The doctors want to lure the bug into the lab so she can shoot it with the laser. The bug makes its way to the hospital and plays hacky sack with this guy's head. Bishop then shoots it a bunch, which does nothing. The patients are all running away. I'll save you, Santa Claus. Oh yeah! It's about to kill him, but Elliot plays the bug baby sounds to lure it back to the laser lab. Flip all of the switches! The doctor grabs a laser and pew pew pew! Wow, it's mildly annoyed. Bishop grabs the other laser to help. Elliot tells him to aim for the eyes, and he blows up its head. The thing convulses and drops over dead. Look at their faces. Don't tell me you feel bad. The next day, Marwella was healed by the power of whiskey. Bishop's partner is going to be okay. He goes to leave and runs into the cancer kids.
Will I ever see you again?
What do you mean, will you ever see me again? You bet on it.
Well, never see them again. Elliot is super excited to tell everyone about the giant killer bug that ate people. Bishop then asks the doctor out for breakfast, and she accepts. Back down into the basement where we can see that one of the bugs survived. This movie leaves me with one big question. Why is it called Blue Monkey? Blue Monkey was filmed in Ontario, Canada. The title comes from one of the kids in the movie. They're talking about a nightmare they had about a blue monkey.
I wonder if we'll find anything down here. I bet we're gonna find a big blue monkey.
It also goes by the alternate title, Insect, which makes way more sense. It also sometimes goes by the title, Invasion of the Body Suckers, which makes even less sense than Blue Monkey. Canadian director William Fruet made a bunch of Canuxploitation films in his career, from Spasms to Funeral Home to Baker County, USA. He also directed 10 episodes of Friday the 13th, the series, and 8 episodes of War of the Worlds. Stephen Relsback played Detective Bishop. He's a terrific character actor that's been in a variety of films, both big and small, from Life Force to Turkey Shoot. Apparently, Stephen Relsback is embarrassed by the film, and that's a real shame. He's been in films much worse than this one. I mean, does he even remember Nuki? One of the sick kids was a young Sarah Polley. She just won an Oscar last year for Women Talking. The overbearing husband was played by comedy legend Joe Flaherty, although, man, they gave him nothing to work with here. This movie may have borrowed a little bit from Aliens. The biggest thing is the insect is kind of like the queen alien. The first thing they do is burn the eggs, as well as a few other little things. Oh, and both movies have characters named Bishop. Just something I noticed. Blue Monkey is a big, disgusting bug hunt. It's got lots of gore and a plot that's fairly basic. The monster looks great, and I think they did a good job with what they had. It's not as disgusting a bug movie as The Nest, and honestly, I'm perfectly fine with that.
I don't think this'll help.
Oh, listen. At our age, it can't hurt either.